This episode of the Acts of Geekery podcast is brought to you by Super Saiyan Hot Sauce. Need to kick the taste buds up with a flavor that's over 9,000? Try the most powerful hot sauce this side of the galaxy. Super Saiyan Hot Sauce. It's Kame Yame Yum. Do I start?
Yeah, you always start.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the Acts of Geekery podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
We're the Brothers Geek.
I'm a very sick Cory, so I apologize for that.
And I am not sick, Scott.
Oh,
only
lucky
sick-minded,
you.
not physically.
If you hear any coughing or anything like that, it's me. I apologize. It's this really bad sickness that...
It's Ebola. He's got the Ebolas.
I got the Ebolas.
He's got Geek-bola.
Yeah. Well, it's the Acts of Geekery podcast.
You know what helps? You know what helps your throat, right? Talking more.
Oh, good. Well, then this should be very therapeutic for me.
We just need the juice that Gollum, the guy that played Gollum, had. His lemon juice and
weird,
honey and four different things mixed together that he would drink between every little Gollum.
Because it would kill his throat otherwise.
Yep.
Ah, a good idea. It's episode 19, Scott.
Yes, it is.
And we are the Brothers Geek.
I thought we would have collapsed much earlier than this.
Yeah, we're good. We're doing okay.
Well, I wouldn't say we're good. We're doing all right.
Well, hopefully we'll do even better.
Yay!
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get into the news.
Who likes good news? Everyone? Then good news, everyone!
Yes, it's the news.
Yes, it's the news.
And not all of it is good.
No.
Unfortunately, we got to start off on
tragedy.
A sad note today.
Tragedy.
Well, it's not happened yet, but we know it's coming.
Near tragedy.
Yeah. So Sam Simon, the co-creator of Simpsons, along with Matt Groening.
You all know who he is.
Yep.
Because at the very end of The Simpsons, or at the beginning, it says, created by Matt Groening and Sam Simon.
Mm-hmm. And, well, he's dying, Scott. He has cancer.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And it's going to be super sad to see him go. He's been such an inspiration for an entire, 3 generations of people.
Yeah, 30 seasons of Simpsons.
I think he helped with Futurama a little bit.
I think he did a little bit, yeah.
Well, but we're not here to talk about the fact that he's dying. We're here to talk about the fact that he's taking all of his money that he's earned over the years, and he's donating it to charity.
And that's
a lot of animal charities.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's a great guy, and we just wanted to let him know. I mean, I don't know if he's listening or watching for his name or anything to pop up, but we just wanted you to know, Sam, thank you for your work. And
we watched The Simpsons for how old am I? 28?
Yeah,
28 years.
20. Yeah, exactly. it's been pretty prevalent in our household. I remember one of my first recollections of just memory is me talking about how the hour that I was born, I knew it because it was the same hour that The Simpsons came on in the afternoon for their reruns.
There you go.
So yeah. So thank you, Sam Simon.
We'll miss you.
Yep. And
if or when you go.
Yep. And we really appreciate the fact that you were such a noble guy to give us all this entertainment, and then the money that you get from that entertainment you give back to the world. So you're great.
It's great.
Yeah. And I'm half tearing up and I'm half choking on my sickness right now. Yay me.
And so that was our somber note for the day.
Yep. But now
lighter notes.
Scott, how do we start most of the news segments besides the Sam Simon thing?
Messing up.
Yes. No, we talk about Dawn of Justice, and we have a huge spoiler for you people.
Like I said, we messed up.
Yeah.
A huge spoiler. A very, very revealing spoiler. And
I'm sorry. This is going to be terrible. It's going to be so bad.
We should put this off for another day.
Actually, we probably should. We should just stop and just go play Diablo.
You want to play Diablo.
I kind of do want to play Diablo. But I love you guys too much. I'll bear with it if you guys will bear with me. But we have a huge Dawn of Justice spoiler for you.
Super, apparently, from sources online, this is a massive, super revealing, unexpected spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, the president dies.
What? If I were a Republican, I'd say good.
Yeah, true. No, I heard this,
Yeah.
and I heard the whole massive spoiler, huge reveal, blah, blah, blah. And I got to the point where when I was like, oh, crap, is Batman, are his parents still alive in this universe? Is Superman's home planet not actually destroyed? Like, those would be huge.
That would be really weird because...
Well, like, maybe they stopped it.
So
They figured out a way to stop it.
I think people are thinking it's a spoiler because they think that Superman breaks the president's neck. Because he does that in this universe.
Oh, jeez. Only if the president's Kryptonian. If he's human, he won't kill him.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, I actually think the reason why people are saying it's spoilers is because they think they're going to go with the whole President Luthor storyline.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so the initial spoiler was the president's dead, and I went, so?
That's fine. I have no interest. I have no vested interest or emotion
I have
in
no
the
idea.
DC president.
I have no idea who this said president is. You'll probably see him for like maybe 20 minutes tops out of the episode.
There's a president in the movies?
Apparently.
Yeah.
President of movies.
Yeah. Oh, no, the president of movies dies.
No.
That's really sad news.
All movies are halted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, not that big of a spoiler. President Luthor storyline, oh well, they did it in the animated series. If they can do it in the animated series, live action's no big deal.
Yeah.
Although, I still don't think I'm going to like Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor.
Yeah, and I'm kind of along with you there a little bit, and I'll tell you why when we get to another story.
He needs to
later.
be bald. He needs to be a different looking person. Michael Rosenbaum. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's
perfect.
He's Luthor.
But when we get down to the Doctor Doom story for Fantastic Four, remind me to talk about why I'm kind of in your camp about Jesse Eisenberg now. But going from one groan-worthy story to another, Marvel has issued a subpoena to find out who released their trailer early. I told you it was groan-worthy.
I'm double face palming right now.
I don't know whether to just open the soda or to cough to try and cover up opening the soda.
Just open the soda. You have to do it. Yeah, so as we all know, the Age of Ultron trailer was supposed to be revealed during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
But it got leaked early online. And it was a terrible quality. It was a film by with a camera, camera phone or something. And so, at first Marvel kind of did the right thing. They were like, "Oh, well, crap. It's out. So let's go ahead and play it up." Hydra did it. Because that's what they're doing right now. Hell Hydra everything, that kind of stuff. And now they subpoenaed the courts to find out who could... You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying not to cough. If you can't tell.
It looked like you were about to sneeze there for a second. They're trying to find out who leaked the Age of Ultron trailer. And you know what I have to say to that, Marvel? Just stop.
Let him go.
Let it go. If Frozen taught us anything,
let it go.
Let it go. Because who cares? I mean, really. You didn't... That Age of Ultron trailer leak wasn't going to bump your ratings up enough to really matter in S.H.I.E.L.D. And you were going to release it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out, 3 days early? Whoop-de-friggin-do.
You know what you did? You released an additional footage trailer with
Which was
Agents of
even
S.H.I.E.L.D.
better.
Yeah, and you made people want to watch the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. trailer. Like when you said, "Oh, we're putting new footage out," it's like, that much footage early? I want to go see that.
Right.
Which
they did anyway.
I'm sorry, you got a huge bump in publicity. Free publicity, by the way. Not like, "Hey, everybody, we're sending this out to you." Talk it up on your websites. It was like, it leaked. Everybody's talking about it now.
Oh, yeah. It blew up.
It had no, man.
I love Marvel, and right now they can do no wrong with their movies, but come on.
Yeah.
Guys, really? You're going to go after someone, and you're going to sue them for what? $8 billion? Or whatever you're going to decide is an arbitrary number of how much you lost for having it leaked?
Yeah. This sounds more like Disney than Marvel.
Yeah.
So I was listening to somebody talk about...
Disney is Marvel, by the way, now.
Yeah. But that sounds more like something Disney would do rather than Marvel.
Maybe they're forcing them to do it. I don't know.
Maybe. So I was listening to somebody talk about copyright laws and everything, and how infringement laws work. These big companies that you might infringe upon don't say anything about it. Like they don't care. But what they have small time lawyers in different states that find these things, and they call this company and say, "Hey, this person's using your intellectual property. I'd like to
represent you
and do the injunction and everything like that."
So lawyers, they're the problem.
Yep.
Scum of the earth.
Yep. I hope that they all die in a fire.
I
don't know where I was going with that.
I hope they don't find the guy who leaked it, or if
Yeah.
they do, I hope that whatever judge they take it to goes, you know what? This is a waste of time. I'm throwing this out of court because it's a trailer.
Yeah.
He didn't film the whole movie. He didn't break some kind of legal document saying not to release the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't know. I have a really hard time with this kind of stuff because as a free internet supporter, I love the idea of a free internet that no one has regulation, no one has control, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Did you hear about that stupid senator saying that?
You mean Ted Cruz?
Yeah, Ted Cruz. Yeah,
pretty much.
Net neutrality is the Obamacare of the internet cruise.
Yeah, I heard all about it. I had lots of friends discussing it with me on Facebook. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm rolling my eyes right now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But some good news coming out of Age of Ultron.
A butt?
Don't make me laugh. It's going to make me cough.
Is it Scarlett Johansson's?
Oh, absolutely. That's the only butt. Although
Marvel is right now being a bunch of butts.
Yeah.
For
I saw a little Facebook thing that was Scarlett Johansson, and she's like, and the caption was, "Do he have a butt?" And then it showed Hawkeye's butt in the Hawkeye pants, and then it's Scarlett Johansson smiling, and it's like, "He do."
Oh gosh.
It was pretty funny. But Idris Elba has come out and said that he has a part in Age of Ultron along with Tom Hiddleston.
And this was totally not scripted and not, as far as I know, Disney didn't tell him to release it. It was during an interview and he slipped up.
Whoops.
And said something about playing.
They probably
he also said though that he didn't like to play Heimdall.
Really?
Yeah, he said that it was like beneath him and he didn't like the character.
Oh, I am so done with these actors.
This is coming from the guy who goes and plays we're going to stop the apocalypse in Pacific Rim. I'm sorry, that character was more two-dimensional.
None of those characters were three-dimensional.
Yeah.
I will never, like, people can argue with me about Pacific Rim and they'll be like, "Oh, the story was terrible." I'll go, "Yeah, it was, but it was giant robots versus giant aliens."
The story wasn't supposed to be the highlight of the show. It was supposed to be the robots fighting monsters.
Idris Elba does this apparently, and what's his name? Mr. Smith, Red Skull, Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
he does it
Same
too.
camp.
Yeah, and he's like, I just not challenging, and then he goes and does a TV commercial, and it's like, oh, screw you, you little paycheck grabber. You know?
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. I love people like Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. They all are like, I love to play this character. I will do this for a long time.
Exactly.
And they're totally cool with it. And the only reason they have the 3-movie contracts is because of the Actors Guild.
Yeah, they have some law that says they have to back a money truck up.
If they didn't have the unionized Actors Guild, I don't know like the political stuff behind it, but if they didn't have that, they wouldn't have to pay them an exorbitant amount of money because they're quote typecast.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear that I saw Ian McKellen had said this at one point. He didn't want to come back for Hobbit.
No, okay,
for Gandalf.
So his was different. No, Gandalf was talking. Not Gandalf. Ian McKellen.
No, he's Gandalf now.
He is. I saw a funny picture that he posted on his Instagram or something where he's walking along the street and there's a seagull in front of him and the caption was "Fly, you fool."
Nice.
But he said that he was practically crying on the set of The Hobbit because he was green screened. Like it was just him talking to sticks.
Oh, that's right.
On the green screen, and that's not why he became an actor.
He wanted to interact with people.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a little bit more understandable.
There's a picture of him. There's a picture of him actually in tears as Gandalf.
Yeah.
in front of a green screen for the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Or he's in the. It's not a green screen actually. I think it's just a Hobbit house.
No, it's a green screen, but it's got
screen?
the Hobbit tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't have him in the Hobbit house. Like that doesn't work as well. They had to green screen him in. So yeah, it's sad.
That sucks. But I swear that beforehand he said that he almost didn't come back because he'd done everything he could with the character. He thought.
Yeah, and that's kind of thespian actors too.
Yeah.
Which Hugo Weaving is a thespian actor,
But so is
And
Patrick Stewart.
I think Idris Elba is too. Well, Patrick Stewart is also a crazy good guy. He does drugs.
He understands. He understands that 7 seasons of Star Trek and 10 movies, or 6 movies.
Yeah.
However many movies is in, are good. Good for his career. Good for his money truck. A truck made of money. All right, so that was a total off tangent news.
Yeah. We were talking about Heimdall and
That's
there's
true.
a scene coming in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo.
All right, yeah.
All those Loki fangirls will throw their panties at the screen.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
that's kind of what Loki's turned into. He's like a rock star of the Marvel world.
Yeah, him and Sherlock's off the table now.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, I guess that's kind of geek news.
What? Wait,
Benedict Cumberbatch is engaged.
engaged to be married?
Yes, not like engaged in warp speed.
I thought you meant engaged to be in a movie or something.
No. He's engaged to be married.
Okay, so what does that have to do with Sherlock Holmes?
He's Sherlock in Sherlock.
Oh, right.
And
the
everybody-
BBC.
Give me
wow.
your geek card.
Ah.
I got mine back actually from earlier when I said Superman instead of Batman.
Yep.
Ooh.
Kind
Scott
of a big
is going to be
mix
excited
up.
about this next little bit of news.
So
ladies and
he's
gentlemen.
not doing Sherlock at all. He just decided.
No, he is doing Sherlock, but all the fangirls love him as Sherlock. They think he's hot. Kind of the Tom Hiddleston thing.
He's
So-
out the dating
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Okay, I got it. You were like Sherlock and no more Sherlock. And I'm like, why? They've got great ratings.
No,
What?
that's you're just
Corey, are you
I don't
smoking
think, I think you're
something?
just not paying attention to me.
I think you're just kind of half doped up on your sickness.
Yeah,
and-
probably. This is gonna go great. We have such a quality podcast. I'm opening cans, coughing. We don't have a cough button, but we have clips now. People, come and listen.
We need to have a soundboard with the
Yeah.
old lady that coughs from Futurama. Every time
Yes.
you cough.
Scott is going to be excited about this next little bit of news, ladies and gentlemen. Suicide Squad
Yay.
is going to have Harley Quinn in it.
Oh, good.
And apparently she's going to be played by Margot.
Margot.
Probably the T is silent. Robbie. I don't know who she is.
Yes, you do, actually.
I do.
Have you seen the trailer for The Wolf of Wall Street?
The trailer. Yes, I have.
You know the part when there's a girl laying on the ground
Okay.
and he's kind of crawling up to her on his hands and knees, and she puts her high heel on his face and pushes him away. And you also know the girl that gets covered in money, wrapped up in a
Okay.
money
All right,
bikini.
all right.
That's her.
Okay. Is she
That's
been
her.
in anything else?
I don't know. I don't care.
Let's see.
Sorry, I really don't. But what makes me more excited about them casting her as Harley Quinn is the fact they're actually putting Harley Quinn in it, because to me, the Suicide Squad is stupid without Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If she's not in it, it's kind of worthless. I don't want to read it. I don't want to watch it.
Suicide Squad.
When I heard that they were making an animated Assault on Arkham
Yeah.
with the Suicide Squad, I was a little leery until they announced. Until they said the Harley Quinn, and I was like, "Oh, cool!"
Okay,
because
yeah.
she makes the Suicide Squad. She is the Suicide Squad.
She's got my favorite comic out there right now.
yes.
Her comic with Power Girl is pretty funny.
I have to go read it.
Yeah.
She had one out. They had one just recently where it's supposed to smell like marijuana or something.
No, it had sense in it and everything like that.
Yeah, it was like scratch and sniff.
Yeah, and I actually read it and it's all right. Scratch and sniff is kind of weird for me.
I mean, did it actually smell like stuff?
Yeah, like at one point it's her leather jacket and you can
like
smell
leather.
the leather and everything. Luckily, they don't make you smell anything too horrendous like poop or
Yeah.
anything, because they use she's got this poop catapult for a bunch of pets that she has, where they take bags and they catapult them off into New York City. And luckily they didn't make you smell that. So
Yeah, good thing. Good
All right.
thing.
So yay, exciting. Harley Quinn going to be cool.
Yeah, and the person they got to play her looks just like her.
She'll do a pretty good job.
I just can't wait to see her in whatever skimpy outfit they put her in.
I hope they do.
You want full on Jester?
No, I don't want them to do that.
Okay.
But I want them to do kind of a, not necessarily just like a skimpy outfit, but an outfit that is revealing, but at the same time practical.
So, you mean her corset and short skirt?
Oh no, absolutely not.
It's a comic book movie. It doesn't do
I
practical.
know, but
Nothing has to be practical.
all right.
All
Well,
right, anyways.
Scott, you and I watched BlizzCon footage over the weekend.
We did. Kind of had a BlizzCon bash with just you, me, and your wife.
Yeah.
And one other person.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
BlizzCon.
And one other person. I love how you threw that in there.
And
We
one
know
other person.
he knows who he is.
You know
Yeah.
who you are.
And they announced a few things. They talked about their Warcraft movie characters and everything. They had people come out on stage and talk about the movie and how it was coming along, and showed off some of the cool armor and everything they're wearing, which is nice.
Yeah, they revealed a whole bunch of cast and characters from the movie.
The guy from District 9 apparently is the Human King. The one that can't decide where his accent is, that you're always talking about.
Really?
Oh
No.
no! Wait, no! Sorry.
No.
Wow. No, I'm thinking Maleficent. Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's Dominic Cooper.
Different. Okay. As Varian Wern?
No,
Where?
his father, King
Lelaine
Lelaine, Lelaine
Wern.
Lelaine Wern. Yep.
Lelaine Wern.
They announced a new Hearthstone expansion, which is cool.
Well, no, they also said that there was going to be a trailer in 2015
Ooh, yeah.
for the movie, as far as I recall.
Yep, and they'll probably show it at BlizzCon and everything. So yeah, we got
Maybe.
a new Hearthstone expansion coming out.
Yep.
Like 120 new cards, which is exciting for me.
I think one or two little panels of World of Warcraft, which was
StarCraft 2,
lots of StarCraft 2 announcements. Got Heart of the not
Legacy of the Void.
Legacy of the Void, not
Yep.
Heart of the Void.
Heart
Legacy
of the Void, Heart of the Storm, because we're just combining everything.
Heart of
theirs.
Liberty.
Yeah, and that's all. It was all cool. Like we got a lot of cool stuff. But then they kind of threw us a curveball, Scott.
Yes.
This coming out of there,
totally out of
Titan.
left field, right field, space, from underneath your. I mean, from all different directions at once.
Exactly. They decided to come out with a little game called Overwatch.
And oh my gosh, it looks amazing.
Overwatch is a first-person shooter style battle arena thing.
Yeah,
kind of like
6v6,
kind of like Team Fortress.
Team Fortress 2.
And if there's one thing that you like, even if you're not a fan of video games,
Another one that's more recent than Team Fortress 2 would be Plants vs Zombies.
Oh,
Same
Garden
exact
Warfare.
Yep,
Yeah.
Garden Warfare.
Yeah, you're right, because we were both sitting there and I was thinking in my head, I was like, this makes me kind of want to play Garden Warfare. And then you like leaned back and went, hey, you know what we should play? And I'm like, Garden Warfare.
Yep.
But if you don't, I mean, even if you don't like video games, go check out their reveal trailer.
The cinematic,
Overwatch,
cinematic trailer, not
yeah.
the gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, either one is fun, but
Yeah.
the cinematic is awesome.
Because we were watching it and we both had the same reaction. Is Blizzard coming out with a movie? Like, are they coming out with a Pixar animated movie?
They need to.
And then the Chris Metzen, one of the head leaders at Blizzard Entertainment, said, "I know what you're thinking, and yes, there is a game involved with this."
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. There's a couple different classes: offense, defense, support, and tank.
And the support class looks like my favorite because it's not just like, oh, you need healing, I'll give you healing. It's, I'm going to build a turret and then upgrade it. And when you walk into it, or there's people who build teleporters.
Yep.
Like everybody, and that's the thing is, every individual character is so unique. It's not just, here's the evil version of the good character that can teleport. It's like, no, they're all different. They all have their own unique
They
things.
revealed 12 different characters. You can check them out on their Overwatch website. I spent like an hour and a half reading through all of them, watching all their gameplay
And I
videos.
believe you've done something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered the Tracer statue.
Yeah.
Which Tracer is one of the characters in the game. They came out and had a pre-order statue on the Blizzard store, and I said, "Oh, yep, gotta have it." Dang you, Blizzard, separating me and my money.
Yeah, it's
Blizzard causes me to divorce my own money.
at least it's money and not like a wife or anything, right?
Yeah, they'd probably make me do that too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
mean, it's
can see that. Yeah.
No, I was talking to my best friend, and he kind of agreed with me. Blizzard's the only game company out there that when they make a game, I don't just go, I gotta have that game. It's I gotta have that game, and I gotta have everything else associated with that game. So like StarCraft figures and model ships and Diablo like play mats and like
chess
just,
sets.
Yeah, there's it has a $300 chess set.
Yeah, that doesn't have a chessboard.
Yeah, that has it doesn't have a chessboard, but it has all these like
Angels and demons. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it looks amazing. And yeah, it's right there. And I guess that says something about the company. I like their games so much that I'd rather invest in. I guess it's not really investment, but I'd rather spend money on their stuff. I got that Kerrigan statue coming in from Sideshow Collectibles, a Tracer statue. I've got a couple more Blizzard related statues.
A couple? How about the entire middle row?
That's true. Middle row of shelves.
Shelves.
Yeah. I got a lot of them.
Overwatch, people.
It looks good.
And when Blizzard, and they came out with this and they said, here's the game, and we'll show you actual footage from it, and here's the developers playing a match for you. It was like super done. Which
you can sign up for the beta as well. And
which is crazy.
So we went and signed up for the beta on it, and that's free.
Yeah.
And which is awesome because Blizzard is not known for bringing games out quickly or on time.
Yeah.
They're always pushing them back. And a lot of people say that's a good and a bad thing because it's good because usually when the games come out, they're super polished. They're well done. There's not a lot of patches
They're
that have to
ready.
be done. They're pretty much ready to do.
Yeah.
The only time they patch is for like content most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But in this case, Overwatch, it sounds like it's nearly done. Like they've been working on it for a long time. And I think they're losing subscribers on WoW, and I don't think they're making as much money on like Diablo expansion and StarCraft expansions and stuff. So they were like, we need to come out with something new, and we need to come out with it quick. Not once every 5 years. It needs to be like every other year we've got some kind of new game or something coming out
and that's the thing,
breaks the mold or
They're a great company. They make great games. They're not only are they genre starters, but they're genre are perfectionists. Yeah, I would say they didn't start the MMO genre, but they've done the best with it, in my opinion.
I have a feeling that they looked at Heroes of the Storm and said, "We need more."
That was my thought too.
We need more heroes.
Yeah,
we need more characters. We need more heroes for Heroes of the Storm. How are we gonna do this?
Diverse.
Let's just make a new game.
Exactly,
and make a whole bunch of new characters. Which awesome. Yeah. They've now got content for both Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch.
Yep. They've got 4 different universes now too, which is
I'm excited.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun on the bun.
And it's for PC.
Oh yeah. So, of course. They mostly do PC stuff.
A lot of people thought it would be for console, and then you go watch the gameplay trailers and actually show like a mouse and keyboard controls, which is awesome. So because I'm to the point where I think I'm gonna just stick with PC from here on out. I have no desire to buy an Xbox One. So far, nothing has come out.
Yeah.
The only thing that I haven't had a desire for is the Wii U.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Is I would be right there with you, but Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart,
and like everything else. I was watching clips from Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh yeah,
where you have to transition between 3D and 2D to do stuff.
Oh wow.
Where he's like a 3D character, and you need to cross a gap, but you can't jump over it. So you like 2D along the wall and then pop back out. It's weird, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo does really good game content with characters that you love.
Nintendo has stayed a game company.
Yeah.
They haven't gone... Microsoft wasn't a game company when it started. No. Sony wasn't a game company when it started.
No.
So,
Yeah. All right, let's get to this Doom story.
Okay.
So, Toby Kebbell.
Cabela.
The gentleman who's going to be playing Dr. Doom in this.
What else has he been in? Do we know?
I don't know.
I will look that up.
Okay. Well, he came out in an interview and he said that his name is not Victor Von Doom in this movie. They changed his name, Scott, to Victor Domashev.
Don't like it.
Almost swore. I hate it. That's how bad I hate it. Is I almost swore on the podcast. We'd have to do another edit.
This guy was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Prince of Persia,
Okay.
Rock and Rolla.
All right.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
he's doing a lot of stuff. Wrath of Titans.
and then apparently he's a programmer, an antisocial programmer, and on blogging sites he's known as Doom. So okay, going back to what I was saying about
Luther. Why you're in my camp?
So the idea behind like the younger Lex Luthor, the idea why I was kind of excited for it was that he was going to be like this new billionaire type thing, like the Mark Zuckerberg type billionaire,
Okay.
where he made all of his stuff in internet programming type things. And then I heard this, and Victor Von Doom, who is a notorious royal, like he is a royal of a country.
Doom, he started out as a corporate businessman, an owner of a giant company, funded the Fantastic Four to get into space.
Yep.
Went with them.
Yeah.
Got irradiated along with them.
And had lightning powers.
And started turning his skin into steel or metal or whatever. And then decided to go the evil route rather than the hero route.
Yeah.
And Von Doom, when Marvel characters hear Doom, Doctor Doom is coming, or Victor Von Doom,
they get scared.
They kind of crap their pants because
unless you're Squirrel Girl,
because he's kind of he's the one guy you don't want to go against.
Yeah,
he's super intelligent, which they didn't show in the first Fantastic Four. It's kind of bugged me.
Yeah,
but he is massive, one of the most brilliant minds on the planet.
Yep.
So he has plans on plans on plans.
He's
got infinite resources. He's got his own country.
Yeah, he's mixed magic and technology.
Yeah,
like perfectly. Yeah. But
he's scary good.
You know what?
He's one of my favorite villains of all time.
The director's like, you know what? No, none of that. He's a programmer. That's it.
Along with the wrong color Johnny Storm, and this being the second reboot.
I don't care about that.
I can't.
Not the reboot thing, the Johnny Storm thing.
Get over that because in every iteration of comics, they've always been brother and sister, not adopted, not whatever. You know,
I'm okay to let that slide.
No,
this right
I'm
here,
gonna be nitpicky
like
about.
this.
I'm gonna be nitpicky about this movie because I hope it fails, so that they lose the rights, they stop making them, and it reverts back to Marvel, and Marvel can start using them.
It kind of sounds like it's going to.
Well, that and their Marvel's actually canceling their Fantastic Four title.
Like canceling it.
Cancel. As in they have no plans to bring it back right now. They will. I mean, they always will. They've been canceled like 4 times. But yeah, they're shutting it down because it's not making any money. No one cares about the Fantastic Four.
Nope, the first family
and like we discussed a couple episodes back, we just don't care either. We're kind of like I like Ben Grimm. I think he's an awesome character, but I like him better when he's with the Avengers or when he's with the Defenders or whoever he's hanging out with at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's awesome.
Reed Richards is cool as a scientist, but not as a superhero.
I've never liked him.
Really?
I've always thought he was just a dick.
Yeah, that's okay.
And he
Fair
is.
enough.
He is in the comics. I've never thought that the Invisible Woman was. I thought she was just worthless pretty much all the time.
Yeah. She's never been.
She's always the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Which drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, come on, look, we've got characters like Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel,
although at
Black Widow, you know,
and
they're all strong female characters.
She takes a force bubble and puts it into Doctor Doom's brain, only a part of it, and gives him serious brain damage.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's got cool powers, but she's never written like that.
No,
that's like it's like a one-shot comic.
Yeah, exactly.
Or wasn't that like an alternate universe?
No,
thing?
it was main universe because Doctor Doom threatened her kids. So.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's cool, but every other time she's always the one that needs to be rescued.
No,
and
you're
Johnny
correct.
Storm's just kind of. I like the original Human Torch.
Sorry,
I like the Android version of you.
But he did go on to say, like the character, not the character, Toby, Mr. Kibble, went on to say that
fake Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, the whole thing was lo-fi the way he did it, and ultra real. Okay, lo-fi.
Lo-fi
means
sucks.
Low budget. It sounds like he's trying to say low budget, and I don't know. I'm really worried about this movie.
I unless I see a preview and or a trailer and it looks like awesome and fantastic.
Yeah.
4 times over.
Yeah.
But
Age of Ultron.
What?
Like Age of Ultron. Looks fantastic 4 times over.
Oh, I was just making a
I know.
Fantastic Four.
I know what you were making,
joke.
but I decided to do something different.
You ruined it.
I'm sorry.
You ruined my brain.
I'm sorry. I'm ruining this podcast.
I know. By the way, everyone listen to the very end of this podcast. We'll have something special for you.
Please don't do that.
Yep.
Please.
I'm going to.
Okay. Let's move on. Because it is, 40 minutes in and we're still on the news. And we have a lot of stuff to get to today.
We've got a lot of news and a lot of opinions.
Yes, that's true.
And we're a lot of raging uber geeks.
Another story that geeks are kind of upset about, actually, Toy Story 4 is actually been announced to be directed by John Lasseter, the main guy from Pixar.
Okay. All right.
And a lot of people are upset because they don't want Toy Story to be a 4th installment.
They thought that they wanted the 3rd to be done and over with.
Yeah, they thought it wanted to be a good
after
trilogy.
Andy.
Yeah. And to be honest, I remember when Toy Story 3 was coming out, people were complaining that there shouldn't be a 3. And look how good 3 turned out, people. So shut it.
Yeah.
Let John Lasseter do his work.
It'll be fine. It'll make money hand over fist.
I'll go watch it.
I will too.
Yeah.
And we'll be happy with it.
Speaking of money hand over fist, and I actually made an error in here. This isn't supposed to be an M.
I was going to correct that for
supposed
you.
to be a B. The $6 Billion Man movie is coming, Scott.
No.
And who else? Who is your perfect casting choice to play the $6 Billion
No idea.
Man? Okay, neither do
Coulson. Agent Coulson.
Ooh, yeah, Clark Gregg would have been good. Nope, it's Mark Wahlberg, Scott, is the correct answer.
Yeah, that's totally who I was thinking about.
Say hi to my bionic mom for me. No, wait. I think we found a $6 Billion Man. How about that?
Yep. There you go. And have
Okay.
that terrible Boston accent, too.
Well, anyway, that's coming.
And if any of you are listening in Boston, I'm sorry. Your accents sound strange to us. And we probably sound super strange to you.
Yes, that's true. All right, I deleted a news story in there if you couldn't see, but that's just because...
Oh, no, I missed it.
Okay, well, that's fine. Hateful Eight plot synopsis got released, but...
Oh, that's the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yes.
Whatever, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's Quentin Tarantino.
So far, I haven't seen a movie of his that I hated. So,
we need to watch Reservoir Dogs.
yeah, we do.
That's such a good movie.
Speaking of other movies,
Oh, yes. Star Wars Episode 7. Scott, give us a bit of the Star Wars theme.
dun, 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 dun,
Perfect.
dun, 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 dun. I
You
almost
paused.
lost it there for a second.
Paused. Like that pause in there was like, okay, Scott.
Oh, hold on. I gotta do some scrolling words for you. Okay.
That's awesome. Well, Episode 7 is coming, and they finally released the title.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "This is such a stupid title."
Again, geeks are never happy. You geeks, be happy.
I'm very happy. I love being a geek, and I love geekdom.
Yeah.
There are things that irk me, but not nearly as much as the internet.
Yeah.
The internet just gets crazy weird about this stuff.
Well, anyway, Episode 7 is going to be called The Force Awakens.
People are like, "What? Was it asleep?"
Yeah. Oh, and yes, it kind of was.
Yes. If you recall, there was like 3 whole Force users in episodes 4, 5, and 6.
4. Yoda.
Well, he died.
Missing Yoda.
He died at the end.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he wasn't there through the movies.
But I'm talking at the very end. Well, I guess at the very end, there's only 1 Force user.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Technically Luke.
Yeah. Which I think is pretty funny because I saw a meme where it said, like, you were supposed to bring balance to the Force, Anakin. And it's like, yeah, before Anakin, there were like 10,000 Jedi and 2 Sith. After Anakin, 2 Jedi, 2 Sith. Seems pretty balanced to me.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah. Force Awakens. Awesome.
The title doesn't... I don't hate it or love it. I mean, it's just a title. I mean, we got what? The Clone War... Or not the Clone Wars. Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. Attack of the Clones.
Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi.
New Hope.
New Hope.
I mean,
and that wasn't even
Hope
supposed to be called. That wasn't even called A New Hope back
it
in
was
the
just
day.
episode 4, or actually,
Just
it was just
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that on the re-release.
So we got one final news story for you today, and it's kind of a doozy. I'm super excited about this, Scott. Do you know what this is?
No, I don't.
How would you like to play
What?
900 arcade games in your browser?
All at the same time?
Well,
Because I think that would be very confusing
no,
and hard. I mean, I think I might be able to win one or two of them, but the others would
So-
all lose.
So games like Star Castle, Centipede, Pitfall,
Cubert!
yeah, Cubert,
Frogs. Frogger. What else we got on here that I
Pac-Man.
can recognize? Yeah, Pac-Man.
Well, you can play 900 different retro arcade games thanks to archive.org. They came out and they said, and it's for free, by the way, people. Go play some video games.
No tokens
for free.
required.
Nope. You don't have to put them in your CD drive.
And please don't do that. I've had to dig stuff out of computers that shouldn't be in computers. CDs between the CD-ROM drives get shoved into the computer. Little old lady wonders where all of her CDs are going.
Oh my
And
gosh.
wonders why they're not coming back out.
Oh my gosh.
She's shoving them between the CD-ROM drive and the faceplates. Yeah.
Sorry, my boss just texted me and asked me if I see Maleficent.
Yeah, of course. It's like 6 months old. Get with the program,
Yeah,
Cory's boss.
Gosh. He comes to me for movie advice. So,
But then he goes and sees terrible movies.
well, I didn't say that he always follows my advice.
I would say he doesn't
I
listen
told
to
him
your
to go.
advice.
I told him to go see Interstellar.
You
so.
need to listen.
Spoilers. We're talking about something later.
Ooh.
Oh no.
We've been talking about it for weeks.
you have.
Well, okay, I have.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well-
Well, 900 retro arcade games.
Absolutely cool.
Archive.org.
Yeah.
And play them in your browser. Probably just any standard browser works
Yeah,
just fine.
I'm- that's
and
what
they're
I'm
probably
guessing.
just Flash or HTML5 or something.
Probably choose Chrome.
Which, if it works, it
Yeah.
might not work depending on what the format is. But that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's awesome. That's all the
Also,
news.
archive.org is a fantastic website. You can go see websites for companies like McDonald's and Walmart and stuff back when, like in 1996, 1998, and they are the ugliest things I have ever seen on the internet. It is. I've seen some pretty ugly stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff.
I'll see some stuff. Okay, more text from my boss. He asked me, "Do you like it?" And then he says, like immediately after that, "I hate the narrative
Narrative.
for Maleficent, like the story."
Oh,
I'm right there with you. This is interesting podcast material right here.
I'm going to cut this out. 'cause
I'm
this
right
is
there
terrible.
with you. No, don't. No. Or
Fine.
throw it at the end after. All right. End of the news segment. Let's go ahead and get into our reviews.
Dun dun dun.
What's wrong with you?
Low battery.
You home, sweetie?
We jumped out a window.
What was that?
We jumped out a window.
That's right. And if you couldn't tell, the first movie we're going to review is Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6.
This is...
They're not actually big. Most of them are kind of small.
Yeah. So it's a movie based on a Marvel property.
Hiro Nakamura, he's a time traveler,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he meets
No.
up with these other heroes.
No.
6 of them
You're
to be
thinking-
exact.
You're thinking...
And and they're fighting this enemy named Sylar, and
No.
he's a telekinetic.
Wrong.
And
What did you watch?
Hero from Heroes.
No, Big Hero 6.
Oh,
Not Heroes.
Oh.
So, Hiro Hamada is the
not
main character.
Nakamura?
No, not Nakamura.
Oh, okay.
In a fictional city called San Francisco.
Which is actually quite cool.
Yeah. I was surprised at how
Very
cool
well
it was.
done.
Uh-huh.
They have the Golden Gate Bridge has the classic Japanese architecture from like
arch,
dojos and
yeah.
huts and like the emperor stuff where they have like horns on the top of the
Yeah, it's like
it's
curls.
really cool.
And everything's powered by like wind generators, which are super cool.
Yeah, it's all high tech.
And yeah, it's all high tech world. And Hiro is a 13 to 14-year-old prodigy.
Robotics prodigy.
Yep. He graduated high school when he was 13. I think he's 14
Yeah.
when the picture starts.
Yep.
And his brother convinces him to try out for college.
Mm-hmm.
And he does so, and something ends up happening. We're not going to spoil that for you. It's kind of easy to tell what happens, though. And he has to get through this problem that happens with the help of a robot called Baymax, who is the star of the show, actually.
Yes.
Hiro Nakamura may be the main character, but Baymax steals it for me.
Oh, and for me as well. Like, whenever Baymax was on screen, and every time he was on screen, it was just like,
yeah,
that's a great character.
Every
Kinda
line
like
of his...
the Hulk, kind of like the Hulk in
Yeah.
Avengers. You know,
Yeah,
the Avengers was
absolutely.
awesome. It's great. It's great. It's great. And the Hulk shows up, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's even better.
Yeah.
The Hulk's the best character.
He also has some other friends who are other college tech people, and he recruits them to help him fight this villain who's using one of his inventions, one of Hero's inventions, to be evil.
Yep, the man in the kabuki mask.
The man in the kabuki mask. Oh, I think...
What?
Yeah. I think... I was trying to think of the guy's name. So, James Cromwell is in it, a.k.a. the professor from Robot, a.k.a. the farmer from Babe, a.k.a. Zephyr Cochrane, the inventor of warp drive
From
in
Star Trek First
Yep.
Contact.
And again in Star Trek Enterprise when he's the evil version of Zephyr
Oh,
Cochrane.
that's true. When he shoots the Vulcans.
Yes, and steals their ship, which is funny. And it's also got the other name that you might recognize in there is Alan Tudyk, who it seems to be Disney's like character, like whatever his name is from Pixar.
I didn't even recognize his voice.
Really, because his voice was like the closest you'd ever seen to Alan Tudyk's voice.
Which character was he?
He was the businessman.
Oh.
Yeah,
I still don't.
the
I'll have to go
evil
reach.
businessman.
I'm going to have to go watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's fine. We can go watch it again. That's okay with me.
Okay.
Be on the lookout
liked it
for
that
the
much?
Stan Lee cameo in it. And yes, I did like it that much.
All right, good.
I also saw a Wreck-It Ralph cameo in it. And when you go into Fred's room and he's got all of his suits and everything, one of them is Satine, the Satan character from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, yes.
Yes. He's got that as like a
The
full
evil-
size
from the Evil
costume
Bad
thing.
Guys Anonymous
Yep.
or whatever.
Badanon.
Badanon.
Yep.
So obviously you enjoyed it. It sounded
Absolutely.
like. It sounded like
Yep.
you really liked it.
I'm a huge animated like buff. Like I love animated movies.
I like animated movies as well. Probably not as much as some live action. I do love the fact that you can do all kinds of stuff with them. And I love how they can just make it do whatever they want, which is awesome because then they can portray all kinds of stuff like superheroes and crazy robots and things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This movie was good. It was fun, but it didn't leave a very lasting impression for me.
Really?
I didn't say anything because I was kind of trying to think it over in my head and get my
Uh-huh.
opinions straight on it. But I liked it, and I watched it again. But I can't say it's like one of my top movies, top 5 movies. You know, I mean, it's good,
I will say this: it's predictable
and that's probably why it didn't make a very good impression on
Yeah.
me. Because
until they get to the part where Hero tells Baymax to off a guy.
yeah, that was a little
Like
crazy.
that was like out of left field, and I was like, oh wow,
But
okay,
impulsive 14-year-old
Yeah.
kid, and of course he would do something
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
I still loved Baymax in it, and go Disney. So far,
Mm-hmm.
you've made 3 total. Have they made more than 3? I know they made more animated, but
So
the
they have,
CG.
so they have
animated-
Meet the Robinsons, which is their first one.
I don't
which
remember
you
that
haven't
one
seen
at all.
that
I haven't
one.
seen
Yep.
them at all.
It's good. It's time travel. You'll like it. They have Tangled, which
Oh, okay. Dingle's great.
Then they came out with Wreck-It Ralph,
Wreck-It Ralph
which
was
is
great.
Frozen,
Frozen was awesome.
and then this one.
Okay, yeah. So far, 4 out of 5. I've just absolutely loved. And like I said, this one just wasn't one of those where I'm like, I gotta watch it again. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't Wall-E for me, you know.
Well, that's fine.
But it was still good.
Yeah. So, geek cards.
I'll give it a 3.
3.
3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
I'll go ahead and I will give it 4.5. I would give it 5, but like I said, the plot is a little bit predictable.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
guessed
still
everything
fun.
pretty much. Oh, it's absolutely fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of laughs. There was a lot of like, I can't believe that's awesome
Yeah.
moments.
and I have been quoting it a lot when I'm on the phone with my wife this week. So mostly we jumped out a window.
Harry baby.
Yeah.
Harry baby.
It's
Hi, I'm Baymax, your personal healthcare assistant. Or whatever he says.
come on. Give it another like half a geek card.
All right. Like it gets a solid 3.5.
Okay.
And depending on the scene.
Yeah, depending on this.
But
if it's got Baymax in it, please hold while I release some air.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of funny parts in it. And like I said, solid 3.5. That's not bad, though.
No,
That's not,
no. It's a good movie. And it'll be fun for your kids. Your kids will love it.
You also, I think you like it a lot more, too, because of the comic tie-in aspect of it. Like, you knew a lot more about Big Hero 6 than I ever
And
did.
it actually doesn't follow Big Hero 6 comics.
Other than the names of the characters.
And not even then. Like, Baymax is the only one that is anywhere near.
Wasabi.
Is there a Wasabi in Big Hero 6?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
He spills wasabi on himself one time.
No, not in the movie, like in the comic.
Oh, I thought you said wasabi no ginger.
No, this character's name was Wasabi No Ginger.
They don't say anything about no ginger.
I know, they changed it.
Oh.
Because anyway.
Because it's super racist?
I guess, I don't know. Against gingers?
I don't know, and he's also a black guy.
Yeah. But I guarantee you're going to see a Big Hero 6 comic coming out.
And probably another movie, too.
And I already seen that they have things out that for Big Hero 6 that even Scott has bought.
Yes.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to it later.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our Interstellar review.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna give it something socially responsible to do.
Can't we just let it go?
This thing needs to learn how to adapt, Murph.
Gang, let's mask up.
Like the rest of us.
First thing I got to say about this movie is it's 3 hours long. So if you're getting
3 awesome hours.
3 mostly awesome hours.
You were probably just tired from already seeing a movie before. We double featured it.
Yeah, which was actually really fun.
Yeah, we went to a movie, then went to lunch, came back and went to the second movie.
By the way, that's why this podcast is late. That and I was sick on
we
Sunday
came home
too.
at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like that we were done with everything. So Interstellar, directed by Chris Nolan, has been on my radar personally for months.
Not
now.
one of my favorite directors, but
I was expecting, and I was talking about this the other day too. I was expecting a time travel movie because they talk about time travel. That's misleading, though.
yeah,
It's Einstein's general relativity time travel,
which is cool.
the closer you get to a massive gravitational object, the slower time goes for you, like a black hole,
Yeah.
or a very large sun, or something that is highly dense,
Which is so crazy.
Yeah. So they talk about at one point they go to a planet where every hour on the planet is 7 years.
That's what they say.
in normal time.
That's what they say. That's what they predict. But then they spend just about an hour on that planet, and they get back there, and it's been 23 years that they've been on that
I
planet
think they
for.
spent more than an hour on it because it took them time to get from outside the times where it would change time to land, do stuff, and
All
then
right.
leave. And they would have been just an hour or so
Yeah.
if they hadn't had trouble. And you've seen the trailer, the giant 600-foot tidal wave, which is the whole planet is covered in like 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
Everywhere,
And you're like,
which is super strange, but also awesome at the same time. Can you imagine like living on a planet like that?
oh, that'd be so weird.
It'd be weird. I mean, it'd be fine because boats and stuff, like the canals in Italy, are kind of the same way. You know, everything's just built on stilts.
I'm sorry, but a black hole is going to cause some tide problems.
Yes, major tide problems.
So the basic premise. Did we talk about the basic premise of the movie?
No, we didn't. I kind of jumped into there. The basic premise of the movie is Earth is dying. There is a thing called blight running around, which is using up all the nitrogen in the air.
Yep. And it's killing plants. So first thing that bugs me about this movie, I understand that it's probably been killing more strains of food, but they talk about it killing wheat and then okra and then corn is the last thing left.
They talk about potatoes as well.
Oh, do they talk about potatoes?
They talk about
Okay.
like they say something like the potatoes in Ireland and
The
such and
corn
such and
here.
somewhere else.
Okay.
They talk about them. They
Okay.
will eventually die.
Because I was like listening to it, and I'm like, okay, so no wheat, no okra, no corn after a while.
Okay.
Are animals dead too?
What bugged me is right now we feed a lot of our animals nothing but corn feed, which is nothing but corn.
Yeah.
So we should still have animals.
Yeah, there should still be.
They don't really, but they don't show them eating any meat. The funny thing is, if you notice closely,
I did.
They show them eating all different corn stuff.
Yeah.
Corn on the
cob.
cob, mashed corn,
Uh-huh.
creamed corn, like all these different corn things. Popcorn.
Yeah, like corn. That's one of my favorite lines. Is popcorn at a baseball game is unnatural. I want a damn hot dog.
So the Earth is dying. There's been famine. There's they kind of.
They kind of talk about how
war. There's a couple big wars, but then they finally get to the point where they're like, we're all starving. We all need to just focus on making food.
Yeah.
And so they just kind of disbanded all military. All funding for military went to other places.
Yeah.
You go to school now, and your schooling is to see how good of a farmer you're going to
Yeah.
be. Like, that's it. There's very few people that go to college for
Because-
anything further.
Yeah, and the main character played by Matthew McConaughey is an engineer.
Yep.
And he's an engineer who builds, like, all he does now is rewire old computer parts to help power these
Automated combines
yeah.
and tractors and stuff like that so that they can farm better.
Oh, and by the way, your school system says the moon landing is fake now.
Oh, yes. So that they can try to wean people away from that wanting to do something else and focus on the food shortage.
Yeah.
So really bleak future. Really bleak future.
It doesn't look that bleak. Like, it looks kind of just like everything's back to normal for now.
But
You get
everything
dust
is
storms.
everything is covered in dirt.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
Inside their houses, they're constantly sweeping dirt off stuff. They talk about they have kind of like a pseudo documentary at the beginning.
which is really cool.
Where they're filming people
Like
in
old
their
people.
like 80s and 90s, and they're talking about like, yeah, we had to every time we set our plates, we had to put them face down.
So that the dirt wouldn't,
and only flip them over when we're ready to eat.
Yeah, same with the glasses and everything.
everything.
Like that.
Yeah. So you've got Matthew McConaughey plays Cooper.
Yep.
His son, young Cooper. I don't know what his name is. I never caught it.
Yeah. Young Cooper.
And I'll get to why I didn't catch it in a minute.
Yeah.
Which is probably my biggest gripe for the whole movie. And then the daughter, which name is Murphy.
Murphy.
Or they call her just nickname Murph. Named after like Murphy's Law, basically.
Anne Hathaway's in it.
Anne Hathaway.
Michael Caine is in
Michael
it.
Caine.
John Lithgow.
John
which
Lithgow's
is my
in
favorite
it.
character.
Creepy Seneca from
That's who he is. Oh my gosh.
Hunger Games. Seneca Crane
man.
is in it. And surprise! What's his name?
Matt Damon.
No, Spider-Man guy.
Andrew Garfield.
No, he was in Spider-Man as Venom.
Oh, Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. I kept thinking Tobey Maguire for some reason. Surprise, Topher Grace.
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
Surprise.
Yeah.
And then, God damn you,
Matt
Matt Damon!
See the movie
Frustrating.
and
You'll know why.
Yeah, you'll know why.
You know why that's his current
That
thing.
could be a spoiler, but you know what? Fine.
Well, he's just there. Yeah, we don't know what happens.
There's cool robots in it.
So the whole point is, Earth is dying. They need to send people off. They found a wormhole out near Saturn.
Yeah.
And they send people through the wormhole.
So they've been getting messages from what they think is an alien race.
Yeah, they don't know for
Yeah.
sure, but it created a wormhole artificially.
And so they send 12 people, wasn't it?
They send 12
different
because they
missions.
found 12 candidate planets out there
And
within
these
range
people were supposed to land on these planets and start relaying information.
about whether or not they were habitable.
And they had probably about 10 years or like a decade of life.
They said about a decade, 9-10 years.
And all these people went to these planets knowing full well that they probably won't return.
Or get rescued.
Yeah, because there's not enough fuel, not enough energy, not enough funding to pick them all up later.
Yeah.
So they were trying to save humanity.
So they send him off. They send him through the wormhole. They pop out the other side, and craziness ensues.
Yes.
The
Cool
movie to
Space
me,
Odyssey stuff.
the movie to me was super intense. Like edge of my
Yeah.
seat, white knuckled.
You shushed me a couple times.
Yeah, because it was so intense and just I don't know how to say other than intense. What's another synonym for intense? It was just crazy, but in a good way.
Keep going. I'm thinking of a synonym for intense.
So it had my attention the entire time. 3 hours or not, I was there the whole time. Like, what is happening? What's going on? That's that. Like, I don't know how to explain it. This is probably one of my favorite sci-fis now. It has been heralded as the 2001: A Space Odyssey for today's generation.
I would agree with that
because there's a lot of similar.
Keep in mind, I'm not a big fan of 2001: Space Odyssey.
And you know what? A lot of people aren't, and a lot of people didn't get it also back then, and now there's a lot more people that get it, which is going to be the same thing, I think, with this one.
I'll tell you what I like, and I'll tell you what I didn't like. I'll tell you what I know.
England will prevails.
Oh, yeah, it was the 5th of November this last week, so hopefully you watched your V for Vendetta. Music score was great.
Okay. So Hans Zimmer did the music score.
The up-and-coming the up-and-coming John Williams of our generation.
He did music along the lines of 2001: A Space Odyssey without actually copying it, which I thought was amazing because the score of 2001: A Space Odyssey is fantastic. The movie's boring and slow, sure, but the score is awesome. The human elements to it are awesome. The whole evil robot thing's is awesome. But
which, by the way, I was totally expecting evil robots in this movie.
So they have a couple different robots. You see in the trailer the one that cartwheels through the water in kind of like a spoke form, and then you see the one that kind of walking on the ice planet. And their names are Tars and Case. And you expect them to be evil
eventually, but they're not.
That might be a spoiler, but.
No.
Yeah, I think they're really helpful.
I think it gets rid of some of the suspense.
I like
in a movie that has way too much suspense.
There you go. That's a good word for it.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, subconscious Cory.
There's a lot of times where you're like, oh crap, the robot's going to go evil. The robot's going to do something. And then you find out that they're just, all they do is help. They do all kinds of crazy cool stuff that help people. And that is awesome. How many sci-fis do you have helpful robots?
Yeah.
Data, pretty much it.
Yeah.
In every other sci-fi, robots are just like, they eventually go mad.
Even then, there's evil robots, though.
Yeah,
you're right.
They eventually go mad and crazy and want to kill humans. I mean, but these guys didn't. They were awesome, and I want one of them. Like,
so, music score, good. That's a point for it. Robots, good. That's a point for it. Didn't really care for the son. I thought that was a stupid, contrived plot that didn't need to be in there.
He was kind of whiny, I guess.
Point against it. I'm actually.
What about Murphy? Do you like Murphy? Did you like Murphy? I liked her character.
I liked her when she got older.
Okay.
I didn't like her when she was younger, but that's just my kind of feeling towards kid actors in general.
Matthew McConaughey.
So perfect example of stupid kid actors. Not Matthew McConaughey. Okay. But the kid who's like, he comes on screen, he's setting the plates for dinner, and he goes, it's the dust, and then walks off. Like, that's literally his line is, well, it's not just, it's the dust, is what he said. Like, he's getting the dust in his lungs and everything.
And it was too quick, too. He coughs, and instead of taking a quick, like a short break, and someone goes, are you okay? And he goes, it's just the dust. That would have been fine. But he goes, it's the dust.
And then walks off.
And then walks away.
And I went, child actors. I hate movies where people have reverted from a technologically and intelligently superior state to this kind of community, we all got to be for ourselves kind of thing. We got to think about just us, and that means that all technology is stupid and unrequired. And it's like, I don't like that in movies.
But that wasn't in Interstellar.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
They talked about faking the moon landing. Okay, that was a huge point. Now not just that one, because I understand why they did that. That was an okay plot point. They talk about how everything back in John Lithgow's day, which is our day, was they're coming out with a new gadget every week. And
here's why they don't have a new gadgets anymore and stuff like that. Is the whole planet is starving.
Yeah.
They can't grow food. So they are devoting every drop of money and resource
Okay.
and time to that. There is technology because
Yeah.
if you notice, they
Well,
are.
I mean, they have
it's
the
all
automated
biotech stuff.
Yeah, they have the automated combine.
They haven't-
Columbines.
they
Oh,
haven't-
gosh. I said that.
Oh.
No, no. No. You're not getting me though. I understand why that's in the movie. I just hate movies that do that because it bugs me so bad.
Because it would be real.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't like that. I don't like realism in my movie, Scott.
That's not a point for or against it.
Right in the middle there.
because it's real. It's something that would really happen.
Yeah.
If the whole world all of a sudden couldn't make food, you'd devote all your resources to it.
Sorry. I'm trying to hold back coughs here, and every now and then they're like coming out. Blah. This is gonna be like the worst podcast we've ever done.
I know, right?
Point for it.
Okay.
I forgot what my point was. Continue.
I was going to ask you because you mentioned this before, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
So
Point for it right there.
he gets made fun of a lot.
Yeah.
In movies. Yet the last few movies he's
And
been
True
up.
Detective.
He's been up for like an Emmy
Uh-huh.
on the one where he plays is it a guy with AIDS? I think.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and he plays some kind of like really skinny guy with AIDS back in the 70s, and I guess he did a good job. He's done a great job on True Detective, and he did a fantastic job in this.
Yeah.
Surprised.
I
Super surprised.
He makes a great leading man when it comes to a movie that he's not just sitting there going, all right with, like he's hit that point where I see him better as in a dramatic role than I do in a comedy role, which is weird for me because usually actors that are comedic, I see them in dramatic roles and I'm like, quit trying to break out of your cycle, Adam Sandler.
Someone said he's trying to take feels like he's trying to take his career more seriously now.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why he's doing a lot more of that kind of stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, great for him.
And he did a good job. He did a fantastic job at it.
I remember my other point for the space travel in it and the space, like getting up into space, getting a gravity on the ship. They basically just spin the ship really quickly, which is how it's done. That's all really cool. It's all very realistic.
Yep.
So point for it.
So Neil deGrasse Tyson tweeted a whole bunch while he was watching the movie.
Oh, nice.
First of all, Neil,
Inconsiderate to the people in the other
I was going to say, first
theater.
of all, Neil, put your phone away in the theater.
You're trying to watch a movie here.
But he usually is going after movies. If a movie claims that it's accurate science, he picks it apart.
Yeah.
If a movie doesn't claim that and just, it's just like, we're just sci-fi, just having fun, he's totally cool with it. He'll watch Star Trek and Star Wars all day because they don't ever claim to be accurate scientific movies. Well, he had so many good things to say about this.
Yeah.
Things like the gravity, how they spin the ship to get gravity.
The black hole stuff. I heard it was like the best representation of a black hole.
Yep.
The wormhole or the worm.
Yep. He liked the wormhole. He also said one thing that really thought was awesome is that every main character was either a scientist or a engineer.
Yeah.
Because how many space movies is it like, we're going to send these oil drillers up to go mine some asteroids or you're the best pilot we have, but you're a crop dusting pilot. No,
that's not.
A NASA pilot's going to fly circles around that doofus. I'm
when it
sorry.
comes to space flight.
Yeah. And so, but this was cool because all the main characters on the ship, none of them were just goobers.
Yeah.
Hicks and
they all had a meaning
they
there.
all had some kind of training.
Yeah.
I mean, Cooper was an astronaut befur his career ended.
Yes, that's right. He didn't never broke the stratosphere, but that's just because of.
But he was in an astronautical field. Oh, I can't talk.
Scott, when they spin the thing to match the other thing.
That's 2001 does that too. It was kind of like, that's like a homage. He was paying,
really?
Nolan said he was paying homage to that scene
Okay.
in 2001 where they have to match the spin of the ship to line up the ports.
Oh.
Same kind of thing. Although it was way faster.
Yeah.
Way faster than 2001. Everything was faster.
Good.
That's
a point for it.
The portrayal of Einstein's relativity, about how time slows down for people traveling at relativistic speeds, which is, close to the speed of light, which they didn't ever do.
Nope.
They never did that. and about being in a black hole. Neil deGrasse Tyson loved it. I loved it before I even read his stuff. I was just like, this is a great movie. I give it 4 out of 5. Or sorry, 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I'd give it a 5, but there are a couple stupid little things in it, like
The sun.
The sun. Yeah. I guess I could give it a 5 because that's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to revise that. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
I mean,
All right, so it's a movie that you're willing to overlook its flaws because it's so good.
yeah, oh my gosh, I enjoyed it so much. I want to see it again
I do not.
because it's so long.
Now that may seem like I'm going to give it like a 1 because I hated it.
Yeah.
But looking on this tally mark, I've got 5 for, 1 against, and 1 down the middle. No, it's just Chris Nolan movies have this effect on me. The Dark Knight did it, and this movie does it too, where I've watched the entire thing, super long movie, super intense, and at the end of it, I was like, that was a good movie. I can't do it again.
But you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You already know what's going to happen, though, so it wouldn't be as intense.
No, it's not just. But then it becomes. I already know what's going to happen, so this movie's taking too long to get to the point for me.
Oh, one thing that was brought up that from a commenter on a review site that I was like, holy crap, I didn't even think about that. They go to the planet with the time dilation where when they're for every hour it's 7 up. So they come back up off the planet and it's been 23 years.
Yeah.
Well, they had left an astronaut up for 23 years
on his own,
with
just a robot as a companion.
Yeah, and I feel bad. I feel terrible for that guy because he spent the whole time.
He didn't even know if they were still alive.
He had
or
no
anything.
idea they were alive or if they were coming back. He could not tell.
And they even talk about that. Anne Hathaway's like, well, why didn't you go into hypersleep? And he's like, I did for a little bit, but then, it just...
I didn't want to sleep my life away.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that just kind of makes me sad because that kind of stuff could happen in real life if we decided to do, hyper sleep and things like that. And it's like, wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Which is what's good about this movie is it's not just intense as far as the movie goes and the stuff that happens, but it's intense as far as just like
the science behind it,
the characters and the human condition and all
the
that.
idea behind it all.
Yeah.
And everything.
So I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5. Yeah. It's gonna be one of my top.
I'll give it 4 out of 5.
It's gonna be one of my top
movies of the year.
Sci-fi movies of the year.
We're gonna have an Oscars. We should have an Oscars for the podcast.
A Geeksters.
Mm-hmm, the Geeksters.
A Geeksters. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into our next review.
You may be asleep, but you're not on break. This crisis has reached the highest level.
Good God, it's Richard Nixon, our greatest president.
That's right, Daddy-O. And I need to take your hippie son on a far-out musical quest.
Get out of my house, you commie.
So, this is weird. 3 reviews this week?
I know we've been really busy.
Yeah.
Really busy with our shows and movies and stuff like that.
Back when the podcast started, I think episode 3 was when we started watching Futurama together, and we talked about it a little bit. Well, we finally finished all 10 seasons of it.
Yes.
Was it?
10 seasons.
4 movies.
and 4
or,
movies.
well, actually, 6 seasons, and each of the movies is a season, technically, on Netflix.
No.
Yeah.
You're totally doing the math wrong. There's 9 total seasons.
Okay.
And the 6th one so there's 10 total.
Yeah.
9 of them are actual seasons with episodes.
Oh.
And the 6th one is just the 4 full-length movies.
All right. So we thought, now that we're done with it, we'll review it and tell you what we thought about it. Created by Matt Groening and maybe Simon?
Hey, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really think so, but it's possible.
It follows Fry, a delivery boy from the 2000s or the 1990s.
1999.
Yep. And he gets frozen right at the start of the new millennia and then gets unfrozen
1,000 years later
at the end of the new millennia. And it's a show about him and his robot friend Bender and the love of his life, Leela, who happens to be a alien/mutant. You find out later.
One-eyed alien/mutant with purple hair.
His crazy great-great-great nephew, Professor Farnsworth. That's right. The old guy is his nephew.
Yep. Not
And
not his grandpa or anything.
And of course, the most important character, Scruffy,
Scruffy.
janitor. If you haven't noticed, we've been completely in love with this series as we've been watching it.
Always have.
Super
Always
funny.
have.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I mean, I think it takes. I don't know. I think I like it better than I like Family Guy and Simpsons.
I think it might be my favorite animated show out there because it's really smart for itself. Like they're not just setting up these gags and then expanding on them later. They have these plot lines in place from like the very start.
Yeah.
And they know where they're going with them. Like the first episode, you see a huge plot point that doesn't come until like the third season where they figure it out.
There's they're littered throughout.
Yeah.
There are cues and clues and scenes and characters that are in season 2 or 3, and they show up again in season 7, and you're like, holy crap. That's the guy that did the whatever, or that said this, or that you saw in the background of this, and that's why he's in the background. That's why he's important. Which is surprising because I've never seen another show do that.
Yeah.
That was an animated show.
Yeah.
I've seen live action shows do that kind of stuff, like Fringe and things like that.
With the headless, not the headless man. What are the hairless man?
The Watchers,
or
the Observers.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about, I think, why I like Futurama is it's funny, just like Family Guy and Simpsons.
It's clever, funny too. Not just
but it plays off of my favorite genre of all time, sci-fi. There are so many references to sci-fi movies and shows. I mean, I've seen Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek, Doctor Who. Like it's all in there.
where you're just
At
like,
some point there's something. I mean, you see a TARDIS.
Yeah.
You see a Doctor Who TARDIS flying through space.
You see the doctor with the scarf at one point.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, wow, okay. What was I going to say? I had something really fun to say. Oh, one thing we did watching this was we didn't just watch the TV show. We looked at every bit of writing in this show.
Or tried to, because a lot of it goes by really quick.
But
so
every ad, every
sign in the background, billboard,
every shop, store, front,
flyer on the window for a door.
And they are all super well done and super clever.
So at the very beginning, it says Futurama across the screen. Underneath, there's always got something funny like, you know, this is filmed in 4D vision or something like that.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah,
yeah.
And there's always something funny there, which is haha great. However, there's things in the background all the time that
you just like,
catch you
I
off
can't
guard.
Believe you.
And I can't believe that. Like
Scruffy's porn magazines have the most hilarious names to them.
They're always like
Exotic jugs or
outer space nipples or something like that. I mean, and you see them for such a brief glimpse. There were times we had to like pause and like rewind and be like, "What did that say?" Oh my gosh, that said what it said.
That's super funny.
Yeah. And like you said, very clever, very smart, thrown in there. Lots of plays on words. A lot of that kind of stuff in there. Every time you turn around, there's something there.
What does this mean for us and our mini fans?
Yeah, and they have a whole bunch of fans over there. And some of them is just dumb humor like that that's hilarious.
But they make it work.
Yes. Bender, he's a robot.
Yeah.
Okay. At one point he says, "Oh, your God."
Yeah.
I mean, like right there, and he says it so briefly in the show that if you're not looking out for that kind of stuff or you're not really paying attention, you'd miss it.
And
and you just think, oh, he just said OMG. But no, because he's a robot.
He doesn't have.
So he doesn't have a deity. So.
At one point, Farnsworth says, "I just pray to the great atheismo," which is like that would totally pass by me from 5 years ago.
There's a part where they're arguing with an evolved orangutan that's smart about evolution and whether or not it's true. And there's a point where you see the flying spaghetti monster floating there.
A religious icon for the internet.
And he goes, "So what, Professor? I'm just evolved from a flightless vermicelli?" And like just like stuff like that it just catches you off guard. And you're like, holy crap, I can't believe I missed that first time around.
The part where Bender gets in the ride with the little kid, and he's got 2 corn dogs in his hand. He's like, "You want a corn dog?" And the kid's like, "Sure." And he's like, "Well, then your mom should have bought you one." Funny line. But then he eats 2 human corn dogs as a robot, and then later on he pukes up nuts and bolts.
Yes.
No corn dog.
Just nuts and bolts.
I don't like. There's things in there.
And he runs on liquor.
Yes,
All robots in the future run on liquor
because apparently it's the most abundant fuel source for him.
Apparently,
the first episode explains the series completely, like how nonsense it can get when Bender puts both of his arms back on with his arms. He puts one arm on with his arm and then the other arm on, and it doesn't look like either arm is like on the ground and he bends over for it. He just puts them both on and zooms out, and Fry goes, "I don't even know how you did that."
Yeah. He puts one arm on with another arm.
Sorry. I took medicine, but that maybe hasn't taken effect.
Yeah, he puts both arms on with his arms that are currently laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And like you said, he zooms out, and I don't know how you do that. But that's the kind of stuff that you run into. Favorite characters in the show?
I was going to ask you that because I know what our geek card rating is already. 5 out of 5.
Oh yeah, of course.
5 out of 5.
That's easy.
So my favorite
6 out of 5.
characters in the
It's
show.
just that good.
I'm a big fan of Destructor, the robot, where most of his lines are just him yelling, "My knee feels funny. My knee feels better." A lot of the robot characters, Bender's like super.
Bender's a classic. He's got great lines.
Hedonism Bot. Every time Hedonism Bot is on screen, I can't help but laugh.
It doesn't matter what he's doing. Bender likes humans as much as I like my nipples rubbed by industrial strength sandpaper. Yes. I mean, Hedonism Bot's great. Zoidberg.
Absolutely.
Zoidberg is a great character.
Everybody's favorite character.
Like Fry and Leela and Amy, whatever. They're there and they're decent, but they're not the best characters in the show.
The Professor.
Kiff Kroger.
Yep.
The 4th lieutenant of the dupe military forces.
Whose main line in the series is but I think, speaking of dupe planets and their military forces, our favorite character,
Zap Brannigan.
Every line he says is a bit of bad William Shatner gold.
Yes.
So,
and if we could get William Shatner to repeat these lines,
oh my gosh,
that'd be great.
But I would also say that Richard Nixon is one of my other favorite characters.
Well, the head of Richard Nixon.
Yeah, that's true.
His body's gone. He's just a head in a jar now.
And then the headless headless
Clone of Agnew?
Yes.
There are, almost every character you run into is fantastic. The trucker
that does every menial job.
He does every job from garbage man. Whoas, you's got some things over there. and he always adds the the S on the end of stuff that shouldn't have it.
The lady who just says kajigger and whatchamacallit.
That's my whatchamacallit.
You kajigger.
I can't think of a character on there that I hated.
Yeah, like
the Borax Kid. He's only in it
Kid.
for 3 episodes, but every time it's just hilarious.
Amy Wong's parents.
Yep.
What's
I can't remember their names. Leo is the dad,
and
Mrs.
Wong. Yeah.
Leo and Mrs. Wong.
Leo Wong is
they own
super
Mars.
Fun.
They're super rich and they own Mars pretty much.
Yep, and they make Mars Vegas, and all of their stories are great. And they went
Wernstrom. Wernstrom's a good
Wernstrom.
Mom from Mom's Robot Factory
and her 3 sons.
Yeah. We're all exterminators.
As you can tell, we really like this show.
Quoted for days.
The show went from the first couple seasons were their take on it's the future, but everything's kind of the same, just more technologically advanced. Stuff was still printing out from industrial printers. Or the ones that you had, the little things that you ripped the sides off of and everything like that.
The old dot matrix printers.
And then, I just got that joke from Spaceballs. Okay.
Dot matrix.
Dot matrix. There we go. And then it progressed into like the 4th or 5th season. Oh no, it was after the movies. They started getting more topical. Like they had an iPhone episode, and they had
Where it's not a phone, it's they actually implant something in your eye.
yeah, and it records everything you see and everything like that. And then at one point Fry's head starts vibrating back and forth, and a ringing comes through, and he's like, "What's happening?" And Bender's like, "Your phone is ringing, dummy." And he's like, "Wow, these things can make phone calls too," and which is exactly like today, you know.
Yeah, you have a smartphone, and how many people use them for phone calls?
And then it also towards the end, it goes back to having that kind of nostalgia feel for old past. Like they pull out floppy disks, giant floppy disks to put
15-inch floppies that they recorded their videotapes on.
Yeah,
There's
is
3D
crazy.
videotape.
Favorite episode?
I don't know if I could pick.
Yeah.
I really don't. I have to say the one that sticks out in my mind right away is the one where Bender gets lost in space.
Oh, yes.
And a colony of
microscopic
aliens grow on him.
Mm-hmm.
You
and
know,
think he's God.
Yeah,
and then he meets God.
Then you meet Space God, which is a giant galaxy full of stars that talks in binary and stuff. Like that one's hilarious.
That's funny because the one that sticks out in my mind the most is another Bender one, where
just because Bender's the best character on there.
Yeah, where Bender's trying to find out who let him go through the factory being defective and kill him because he's mortal now. And that's going to bring me to my next point is I've never had a cartoon make me feel as many times as Futurama does.
Oh my gosh.
Every time that they have
Seymour. The episode where Fry leaves for his last delivery in 1999 and he tells Seymour
to stay
there, boy, I'll be back. And it shows the dog staying for years and years out in front of the thing, waiting for him in the snow and in the rain and the sun. And, I mean, he's getting fed and stuff by the owner of Panucci's Pizza. But it's just, it's sad.
It's super sad.
And they do a lot of that. The last episode, with Fry and Leela,
where they basically
they finally get together and get married because they're stuck outside of time and everything else is frozen, and so they go travel the world, and they
spend like 80 years together,
doing everything they wanted to on their bucket list. And then at the very end, the professor comes back and says, "We can send you back in time,
but you won't remember.
But you'll remember." And then they look at each other and goes, "Want to do it again?"
Yeah,
sure, great. And like that kind of stuff's just, I've never had a they killed off Brian on Family Guy, and I was like,
that's
whatever, he'll be back.
But they show Bender's origin story, and you're just like, he's a robot. There's no reason why he should ever have been a baby. But
yes, I remember little baby Bender.
How about this for a favorite episode, Scott? The episode where they take Professor Farnsworth to the spa to make him feel younger, and they end up de-aging themselves backwards.
Oh, that's a great one,
That
too.
is a great... And they have to go find the fountain of aging.
What's the one where they pull chronoton particles out of the chronoton nebula?
That's the one where the Globetrotters are attacking.
That one's pretty good, too. They keep jumping
Sweet
back in time.
Clyde laughed derisively at them.
Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, they keep jumping forward in time.
Like there's another topical humor that catches you off guard. The Globetrotters, a basketball team now that's more of a show than a basketball game. Yeah. And in the future, they are their own race of aliens.
Yeah. On a basketball-looking homeworld, by the way.
Yes.
The Globetrotter homeworld is a giant basketball.
Yeah.
And all they do is travel the galaxy and make fun of people until they play basketball against them. But they're all super scientists, too.
The one where Fry kills all the giant floating brains. Because he's the only one that doesn't have a delta brainwave. It can't be mind controlled. So many good episodes. I don't think I watched an episode that I didn't like.
No,
that we had to skip or
that were just like
boring.
Whatever.
It's just all fun.
The first episode that ever made me feel too. The episode where Fry eats the sandwich and gets the worms inside of him that make him super smart
and strong and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Leela falls in love with him, and he plays the
space gas station sandwich.
Yeah, Space gas station. Such a stupid concept, but so funny.
And he plays the holophone.
The holophoner.
That's what they call
Yep.
it, holophoner. And it's like the hardest instrument in the world to play. And
He does it beautifully, and then he goes and gets rid of the worms because he doesn't know if Leela loves him because of the worms or because of him. And he comes back and he plays the holophoner badly, and she kind of, says no. And then the last shot is him learning to play the holophoner and making Leela's face. And it's just
like you said, the feels, man.
it gets you right there.
But it just makes everything about that series so good. I think I have 3 of the seasons on DVD. I think I want to get them all on Blu-ray. Get the whole a whole box set of them plus the movies, and have them all ripped on my server so I can watch them whenever I want. I know they're on Netflix, but I like to have my own copies of things. I like to have my own physical copy of it.
Yeah. So we're done with Futurama now. Now we move on.
I don't know. We start them over. Like I could watch them
again. Want to go around again?
Exactly. Like the end of Futurama. Yep. We'll just forget everything we saw and we'll start over.
Start from the beginning. I think we need to move on to another.
Okay.
I'm thinking, and I know you said no to the original series, but how about we start Next Generation?
I'm down
and
with
review it season by season.
Here's what we need to do, though. They have been remastering them and re-releasing them in the high definition Blu-ray from the original. Now, this isn't George Lucas remastering where
they add Jabba the Hutt. And...
Yeah, he takes the reels, adds better explosions. No, they're taking the original reels of film from the 80s and the early 90s, and they are re-putting them into the computer at the high resolution. They didn't before. They did them at the low resolution for regular TVs. But they were filmed.
Oh, excuse me.
They were filmed in much higher resolution. So, yeah, I think we need to pick those up, and they're all on Blu-ray, so we can pick them up season at a time, watch them, pick the next season up. I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Sounds good to me. All right, Blu-ray, remastered, next gen coming at you. Donate us money, people, so that we can afford them. Just kidding. You don't have to worry
realize that's 7 seasons of 23 episodes apiece.
Yep.
So we watched about the same amount of Futurama episodes.
Yeah.
Which is impressive for Futurama. Good job.
Yeah, congratulations. And I was looking at, we were watching a clip from Futurama on Watch Mojo today, where they always show like the dates that it was aired, and it was 2001 to 2003, 2008 to 2010.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing we didn't touch on.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Halfway through the seasons, on
like
season
4.
After season 4, they got canceled.
Yeah.
They got canceled by Fox. Fox, in their brilliant decision making,
Which they make fun of on Futurama.
Yep, they make fun of, especially after they're not on Fox anymore.
Exactly.
They get canceled, just like they canceled Family Guy, and then brought it back.
Yeah.
And then Futurama didn't get brought back by Fox though.
Nope, they got picked up by Comedy Central.
Yep.
After their
For another
movies.
Yeah, they did 4 movies, which is crazy. They did 4 movies in like 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it.
And then they picked them back up for another 5 seasons,
Which were great.
Yeah. They're even better.
Like the last season or the last season and the season before it become kind of, let's go back to the first season and revisit these places that you remember from there. So
yeah, it was fun. It was kind of one of those things we sat down and watched it. It's on Netflix right now. You can watch it completely.
Absolutely. Go check it out.
Of course, you can buy them on Amazon if you want. I'm sure it's on Amazon streaming. But we watched 2 episodes a night, and without commercials, they're only like 21 minutes long.
But
so it's not too bad.
Yeah, but this will be interesting. 41 minutes of it's basically like watching 2 episodes of Futurama. We just watched an episode of Star Trek, and I think this time we just need to review it by season rather than by the whole thing, because
and maybe take some notes.
Yeah.
Or at least go back over it right before the podcast so we can be like, oh, that one episode.
Oh yeah, that episode.
I'll do that. I'll take that on.
Okay.
I'll actually do something for the podcast.
Great.
I'll be the guy that I'll bring up the names of the episodes, and we can some major plot points and stuff like that. So it's important things because I love my Star Treks.
Absolutely. So that's our reviews. Let's go ahead and really quickly get into trailers and videos.
Hey guys! Hitler! How's it going, Mr. Hitler? Oh, it's a dog-eat-dog Reich and I'm wearing bacon pants. So, how's the atomic bomb coming?
It's coming. There are some problems. We're having much better luck developing this impressive collection of 100 Luftballons. Oh, damn.
All right, Scott, let's quickly run through these because we're kind of running a little bit long here.
Yeah, well,
we have a lot of opinions on stuff, which is great.
We have a lot of geeky opinions, and we're uber nerds, like I said before.
Absolutely.
So first trailer on our list of stuff that we watched is an animated short called The Harrowing,
which is kind of this cool CG puppetry thing.
You like to find these. You find these a lot and then show them to me. And they're a lot of like one shot, like the space cat.
Yeah, the space cat one.
And there was a couple others that
the giant one that we talked about. I think last
giant
week.
With the boulder.
Yeah,
and they're just like under 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute tops of CG or stop go or something like that. This one is about like a holiday, or
it's about
not a holiday, but like a bad holiday,
like an event that happens
every year. The Harrowing, where this mist comes out and attacks you and stills you and turns people into bright-eyed zombies.
The world's end zombies.
Yep. Yeah. I think the creepiest thing that could happen to a human body, to me, would be the whole light shining out of the eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
Where there shouldn't be, and that to me would just be creepy. I mean, it sounds whatever, but I'd be like, holy crap, we gotta go.
Yeah. Let's get out of here now. It's pretty cool. Go check it out.
Yeah. There's another one that we saw as well that was the kid and the teddy bear.
Oh, Mean Teddy Bears?
Mean Teddy Bears. Yeah. It's kind of like a little short, and it's it looks like the hand-drawn style animation.
A little 2D animation.
And it starts off with kind of like this demon monster thing, going, why do you protect him still? He'll just toss you aside like all of your friends.
Yeah.
Like your fellow bears. And it's this little, and it zooms in, and it's this little teddy bear with like a helmet on, a sword, a cape, and like sharp evil teeth. And then this ghost of this like teddy bear ghost pops up next to him and says something like
the spirit of the bear has been associated with children of the world for eternity.
Yeah, it's our duty to protect them. And anyways, basically it's the teddy bear fights for the kid,
beats the monster
to protect him, puts the monster's head on a spike, walks through a door, and then the scene changes and he walks out from under the bed,
which is really cool.
So monster in the bed, teddy bear's protecting him. He crawls up and gets in the kid's arm and end of the thing.
So go get your kids a teddy bear, people.
Yeah, teddy bears are awesome, especially if you tell them stories like that.
Yeah,
like they fight for you. That's their job. I mean, that's kind of good. I'm gonna put that in like back of my head as a parent and be like, if I ever have a kid, like, hey, here's your teddy bear, and here's what they do for you. Like, I don't know, that kind of stuff.
If they're scared of monsters, you can be like, your teddy bear will protect you.
So another animated thing this week was Simpsons and Futurama had a crossover on Sunday.
Speaking of Futurama,
yeah,
I believe it comes up, and we're going to talk about this because it's the couch gag that we saw, that we're reviewing, where it comes up and it says Simpsorama, in the classic Futurama thing where the ship flies by, and then it says a show that's run out of ideas meets a show that's run out of episodes.
Yep. So they got the entire Futurama cast to come back and voice all the different characters.
And you've seen the actual crossover.
I have seen it. Yes, okay. I was late at work last night and then everything to do, so I watched I watched it on Hulu while I was waiting for calls and stuff. But I thought it was hilarious. And speaking of fills, there's a fills moment at the very end.
Really?
And it's an oh my gosh, dang it. Like, holy crap. And it involves Bender.
Oh, good.
I mean, everything involves Bender, right?
Bender's the best.
But anyways, they released the couch gag. Simpsons always run in and sit on the couch and something happens. Well, they run in, sit on the couch, and the couch transforms into Hedonism Bot. And he's like, don't mind me, make yourselves comfortable. And he unscrews a light bulb and puts a red light bulb in.
And Homer's laying on it.
And Homer's the only one, everyone jumps off, and Homer's like, a couch is a couch. And he starts laying on and Hedonism Bot takes his shirt off for him.
And he feeds him grapes. Massaging
him. Homer's just like, oh, yeah, this is great.
And the bot starts vibrating.
And then walks away with him. So like that's a funny gag on that. And that was out on the internet.
Yeah.
So then we got a couple movies coming out.
Now we saw 2 of these trailers that you're going to talk about in
Interstellar.
And I don't think we saw any of them in Big Hero 6.
I don't think so either. But let's go through the animated one first. Minions. Do you like the Minions from Despicable Me?
I do. They're funny.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't know what I mean this week.
Banana.
Exactly. I always kind of have had a problem with them a little bit. I know they're intended for kids, and they're adorable. And if I had like 10 of them following me around, I'd be okay.
I've seen shirts of like them as the Avengers and them as something, and like I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. But they're making a whole movie for him.
I'm not sure how I feel about it after watching the trailer, because I'm not sure how I feel about a movie that involves main characters that can't speak anything but gibberish.
You were like that for WALL-E as well. And then you saw WALL-E
and it proved me wrong.
Holy crap, that was a great movie.
So I will say Minions prove me wrong.
Prove them wrung.
Yep.
But it's funny.
You got 3 chances, just like everything else.
And the trailer's funny, too.
Yeah.
And not just funny for kids. Like, it just... I mean, we were laughing through quite a bit of it, actually.
Yeah.
So, the Minions, their whole purpose in life is to be minions to the most despicable bad guy out there.
And, like, the first one they find is a T-Rex.
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Which is hilarious.
So that's that one, and then the next one that I want to talk about is, speaking of Interstellar, and this one actually on the list here is the one I'm the most excited for.
Yeah.
It's called Chappie.
Chappie.
Chappie. Chappie. Chappie. It is about a robot. Now, so the last couple months we've had
a lot of robot movies.
A lot of robot movies come out. We've got Chappie now, Automata with Antonio Banderas, where all the robots create their own society. And then you've also got Ex Machina.
Yep, which we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago.
The guy in the room, and he kind of lives with a robot that's supposed to be a girl robot. And
Her is another one.
That one's about AI, kind of like artificial intelligence stuff. But they've all been movies about robots having rights, being good, and becoming sentient, which is crazy because most other times you see robots in movies, they're evil.
Yeah.
Matrix, robots are evil. Terminator, robots are evil.
2001: A Space Odyssey,
robot is evil. Yeah, I mean, like that kind of stuff. I don't know. There seems like this maybe paradigm shift happening where now we're getting to the point where robots are starting to become more common.
Yeah,
in real life,
to see them,
not necessarily for personal use, but for like in manufacturing, stuff like that. And they're starting to do all kinds of crazy stuff with robots out, over in Japan and in other, other places of the world. A little bit here in America, but mostly over like in Asia and things like that.
Yeah,
and they're doing some crazy good advances in drones. And I think things are shifting to the point where they're trying to show how helpful robots can be, and how if we decide to make a humanoid style robot, they are a machine, but maybe we should treat them a little better than a machine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of cool. And Chappie's just that. They fix up this robot, activate him. They find him.
Yeah, they give him a personality.
And he starts robo-evolving, basically. Learning
I got it told to me as the Short Circuit of our age.
Yeah, kind of.
Johnny Five is alive.
Yeah. And Short Circuit, great movie. Great movie. I can't believe I didn't remember that for our sci-fi. But
it looked entertaining. It's from the people who did District 9.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, and Elysium. Blumenkamp. I know the word you're thinking of.
Right?
I think let me write it down here.
Yeah, kind of like a blimp.
Yep.
Like a blimp's brother.
Yep.
Like a blimp's
Yep,
brother.
yep.
Okay. Yeah. Neil Blomkamp. I think is how you say his name. I don't know. Creator of District 9 and Elysium.
And he's done good work
So far.
And the only problem that I have with him is usually his things are kind of foreign sounding.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreign actors, and which is good and bad.
It's fine.
It's good because it's cheap.
Yeah.
Like you can get a lot of good actors for really cheap because they don't expect as much money as Hollywood actors
Exactly.
do. But then again, even in the trailer, even the robot sounds kind of foreign.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
Jappy.
But we'll see. And I kind of like the premise
Go watch
of it.
the trailer though.
Yeah,
It looks pretty good.
Looks pretty
so.
cool. And the robot looks good too.
Uh-huh.
I can't tell if it's CG or like practical effects or half and half.
I think it's about half and half. That
Which
looks
is cool.
right.
I hope they can get to the point where they don't have to do CG anymore. They can make just robots that do you know robot stuff. So the last two trailers are both fantasy trailers.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
with
do
the
Hobbit first.
Okay.
So
the one I'm most excited about.
Battle of the Five Armies.
Second trailer
just came out. Gives you a lot more glimpses of what's going on.
Super exciting.
There are trolls with trebuchets on their back.
Trebuchets. So cool.
And it looks great. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's the Hobbit, people.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go see it.
The first two were fantastic. And if you didn't like them, you're weird. Why didn't you like them? Tell us why you didn't like them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how you can't like them. I mean, I get people not liking the fact that it's 3 separate movies, but you know what? It's worked so far, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah. If you don't like it just because it's 3 separate movies, come on.
You're being way nitpicky.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Yeah.
The last one, it actually surprised me. Into the Woods. We've seen trailer after trailer after trailer. And it's always been the same kind of whatever.
Kind of a teasery thing. Like, here's characters in it. Here's things. What's going on?
It looked like Maleficent to me.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like the same thing going on, But this new one has all kinds of references to Rapunzel.
Yeah. Red Riding Hood, Cinderella.
I think Cinderella.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
And I had no idea that was going to be in it. I had no clue.
You know what I didn't have any clue about?
What?
The fact that it's a musical.
It is. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Apparently it's based on a Broadway musical, according to my wife. So
I knew that, but I didn't know they were going to actually turn it into a musical in the show
themselves.
Well, and I'm you know me, I'm normally not one for musicals, and it's not because I'm trying to be a tough macho guy.
No, it's just
I'm a
they
geek.
Just don't interest you.
They just don't interest me. Sometimes, like it kind of draws me out of the movie when they start singing.
Yeah.
However, Frozen.
He's going to tell. He's going to tell. He's going to tell. He's going to tell.
That's just funny.
I know.
Frozen was good.
Yeah.
It was a musical. What are some others that have been out recently that we've watched?
Musical-wise, Pitch Perfect you watched with Sarah?
I kind of like that one.
Uh-huh.
But that was more like they're doing newer songs.
Which
and
I had that idea first. Thank you very much. Pitch Perfect.
But I normally don't. Like, everyone loves the rock opera one. Repo. The genetic opera. And I just can't. I can't watch it. I can't stand it.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun.
I just can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because of the opera-ish style.
Yeah, where they're singing throughout the entire thing rather than...
Nightmare Before Christmas. We just watched
that.
And
yeah,
that's a musical.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like that one. So we'll see. We'll see if it's good. It looks good in the trailer.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Well, we did kind of bust through those. So let's go ahead. No topic this week because we're running long. Don't worry, we've got a good one, lock, stock, and barrel for next week.
We've got a couple.
Oh, which we should talk about next week off the air. Oh shit, I forgot I had this pick of the week. Okay, well I got 2 picks of the week this week, so let's go ahead and get into our picks of the week.
Let's close out with the bad guy affirmation. I am bad, and that's good.
I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
Okay, gang, see you next week.
So I have 2. So do you want me to do one, you do one, then I do one, or Do you have two? You have two, don't you? Do you have two?
Well, we talked about Overwatch.
That's true. Yeah, we did talk about Overwatch.
That's awesome, but I think I'll go with a different one.
Okay. So my first pick of the week is something that was brought to my attention when a couple months into working at my new job, but I kind of remembered it, and I was like, I gotta share this, and it's the Pixar theory. And I showed you this, and you absolutely love the idea too.
I do. However, I found out something that kind of breaks it. But explain it real quick.
So the Pixar theory is the theory that this gentleman wrote just on an online blog.
I think the website is like thepixartheory.com or something like that.
Or you can just search it on the web.
Yeah.
It's basically the theory that all of the Pixar movies are one continuous storyline, and you're thinking to yourself, how can they be one continuous storyline? There's no people in cars, there's no it doesn't make sense. Well, he goes through and explains that and explains the themes throughout the Pixar movies and everything.
And good.
Amazingly done. Yeah, absolutely. He goes through the timeline and everything like that.
Pixar would be smart to pick it up and run with it.
Yeah, and be like,
not actually mention it, but keep making movies that fit into this timeline that this person has created.
Yeah,
which I'm sure it's been brought to their attention. I guarantee you.
I doubt something like that would happen on the internet without them knowing. So what's this thing that breaks it?
I just realized it breaks. So people have tried to do the same thing with Disney.
Oh yeah,
and tie it all together. Like Aladdin is set in the year 10,000.
Oh yeah,
because they have flying carpets, which would mean high technology. And Genie has been around for millennia.
Yep,
and he knows all these different references
all
to
these
stuff
1990s or 1940s.
They wouldn't know back in 14th century Arabia.
Exactly. Yeah,
and so that part of the theory is there has been like a major world catastrophe and everything has kind of reverted to, older stuff, but there's still remnants of this old technology. The giant lion's head coming out of the ground and opening up is tech. But they try to tie that all together, like Frozen's parents, Elsa's parents in Frozen were on their way to Rapunzel's wedding from Tangled, and they sunk, and that ship is the Little Mermaid ship.
Yeah.
In Little Mermaid. That sounds really cool until someone pointed out the flora and fauna and animals in the Little Mermaid are only indigenous to the Caribbean, not to around the Netherlands. There's no way the coral and stuff could survive there because the water's way too cold.
Okay, gotcha.
And so so someone blew it out of the water.
They can poke holes in theories and everything.
Yeah, but the Pixar
it's still
theory's
fun.
Pretty good, and
Pretty
there's a
solid,
lot of
too.
and there's a lot of people that have criticized it too. And he comes out, and the guy's got a good answer for it. I mean, granted, as humans, we have this really unique ability to justify anything and make up our own logic in our head, and not go based off of actual logic or science as far as that goes, scientific theories. But he comes up with a lot of stuff that you're like, man, it's kind of a really good point. But it's cool. And he ties in everything all the way from Brave, which I think's the oldest one.
I think Brave is the start.
Brave's like the start of the
Pixar.
It's the start also and the end.
Yeah,
the way you have to go look it up. But
it's really
and then it goes all the way to like Wall-E and further.
Monsters University.
Treasure. No, what's the one where they're like a million years in the future? Treasure Island. No, that's Disney, huh?
Yeah, the Pixar theory.
Anyways,
incorporate that.
Anyways,
but yeah, it's a good theory. So that's my first pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
I have an honorable mention, one that I should that I'm going to talk about, but that's my main pick of the week.
That's what you're geeking out about.
Yep.
You've been looking into it lately.
Yeah, and I've just been thinking about it, and every time I think about it, I'm always like, oh, it's so good.
My pick of the week this week is something that's actually kind of not new, but new for me. New on my radar. And I realized I was into this a while ago, but didn't actually notice it. Disney Infinity. So
a game
where you can play as all these different Disney characters. Everything from Wreck-It Ralph to the Marvel characters to the Frozen characters to Simba from the Lion King, like all this kind of stuff.
You put them. They're these little figurines that you buy for like. What was it, $14 a piece?
About 10 to 14, depending on where you buy them.
And you put them on this little platform, and it puts the character into your game.
It reads a little digital chip in it.
It's a cash grab.
Sure.
Absolutely.
So the other one that they kind of modeled this off of is Skylanders.
Yes.
Skylanders was first, and they did this, and then Disney went, hey, we can do that. We got a lot of characters.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. And Disney basically started printing money again.
But and I'm not geeking out about the game itself.
Yeah.
Although it seems pretty cool, and if we get a Wii U at some point in time, we should probably pick it up.
Yeah, just
to
because.
try it out.
Yeah.
But what I'm geeking out about is the fact that they print out, or not print, they sculpt these characters from the Disney universe, and they're anywhere from like 3-inch to 6 inches tall, and they're all the different Disney
they're
characters
sculpted
in
and
plastic.
everything. I know you have a Frozen one upstairs. I can see you have 2 new ones.
I have. So this is how I was into it. I saw Frozen. Elsa's my favorite character, and this is why, like I was saying, I'm definitely not a manly man.
Yeah.
You know, like I wanted some kind of statue or statuette of Elsa. And I couldn't find one anywhere. And then I came across this one, and I didn't even realize. I saw the word Disney, and I thought it was just like an officially licensed thing.
Yeah.
I bought it, and I was like, this is really cool, and it's well done. It's not as big as I wanted, but, it was pretty cheap.
I pointed it out to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you said, hey, that's Disney Infinity figure. And I was like, wait, what? And then I looked at it, and sure enough, it's from the game. So if I ever get the game, I've got her. But I got 2 new ones.
Sunday after we saw Big Hero 6.
Yeah, we were hanging out in Toys R Us because we were waiting for our next movie to start. And I walked up, and you pulled up Baymax.
Oh.
In his armor, in kind of like a flight pose.
Yeah, getting ready to take off for flight.
And super
cool.
Also, these characters, these little statuettes, these little figurines are very well done.
They're very stylized.
And they don't look cheap either.
Yeah, it's a good style for them.
I don't feel like paying $14 for them is a ripoff. Like, you get a lot of, toys from a Happy Meal, and they look like crap. And these don't.
No,
these look
they're
great.
very well done.
So Baymax, I got Baymax, and then we saw that they were 2 for $20 or something like that. Yeah, and I was looking around, and I found a Groot. And so far, I've had to get like every single Groot that I can get my hands on. I've got the Groot bobblehead from Funko Pop on order. I've got a Groot full size little Baby Groot statue. I've got like 4 posters of him.
Yeah,
and a Baby Groot poster.
You almost want the premium format one if it wasn't opposable.
Yeah. It's a offside show, and if it wasn't $300 or $180, anyways, a lot.
Yeah.
But like because I love Guardians of the Galaxy so much, and
I think one of the ones you might end up buying as well is the Stitch one, because they have a Lilo and Stitch one. And I know you're a big fan of Stitch.
Pretty cool.
So.
And Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite movies. And so that's kind of what I'm geeking out about this week is just the Disney Infinity stuff. First of all, awesome. The game looks fun to play.
Yeah.
And just the figurines look pretty awesome.
A little bit about the game for you. There's 2 different modes. There's story mode, where you can go through a story and you can play through their little adventure thing with the character, and you can actually buy the Incredibles too. They do the Pixar characters, or not the Incredibles 2, but the Incredibles as well. But they have
they do the ones that Disney also had a hand in making. So
like
Wall-E and
pretty
Eve
much
and stuff.
I think cool. Jesse and
Toy Story's in there. Yeah,
Woody.
And Monsters Inc. as well.
Then they go ahead, but they have a second mode that's called the Toy Box mode, where you can create obstacle courses, race tracks. You can create your own monsters or like creatures to fight and everything. I think one of the people I was listening to who was talking about this game was saying that it was fun to have Mr. Incredible fight the Rhino guards from Robin Hood. You remember the ones that have like the big long pole axes and everything?
Yeah, which are basically what Kung Fu Panda copied.
Yeah, a little bit. And you get to fight, like, things like that. And you get to create whatever you want.
Nice.
Davy Jones is a character. They have the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I saw those.
In there.
I don't really care too much about those ones.
It's nice to, But
I guess, they're Disney. Mm-hmm. Anything Disney related, they've got. And especially, I know they're making gobs of money with Avengers stuff, and just wait till Age of Ultron comes out. They'll have a Scarlet Witch, they'll have a Quicksilver, they'll have an Ultron, they'll have a Vision, they have
a Spider-Man and a Nova already.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I might have to get Nova because Nova's pretty.
You're gonna have to get the Hulk one too. That one's going to be a little
that
bit...
one's hard to find.
Yeah, that one's a little bit difficult to find. So good pick of the week. Great pick of the week. I also have one other thing that I want to talk about. Going back to Salt Lake Comic-Con, I commissioned a picture of our of a key moment in our D&D game to and I'm not gonna we're not gonna tell you what it is. We're gonna show you the picture, and then next week I will tell you exactly what it's about.
So you're not gonna tell us?
Yeah, I'm gonna have you look at the picture, going, "What?" And then next week. But I just got it. I just got it in from the guy. His name is John Mayhew, or Mayhew. Mayhew. JOHNMAYHEW. Go look him up. He's got a blog. He's got some other prints up there. A super nice guy. He was a little bit late getting my commission to me, so he gave me a couple free prints with it,
which is awesome. But and if he's listening, at all, we're not mad.
No, you did a great job on the commission. In fact,
it was one of those things where Cory bought the commission and kind of forgot about it.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden we get an email like, "Hey, look, it's done," and we're like, "Holy crap, that's sweet!"
Yeah, so
and it was perfect.
Yeah, you did a great job with it, John, if you are listening. And
how
go
much?
check it
how
out.
much to have you color it for us?
Don't try and give my money away.
How much can Cory pay you to color it?
I know definitely there's at least maybe a couple character commissions that I want him to do. I want him to do my favorite dwarf character from our campaign, my other favorite kind of party character from the campaign, all made out of clay.
Do the dwarf character with a shadow version of the Yeti behind him.
Yeah, that was one of the other ones. I wanted an action shot of a Yeti fighting a giant skeleton.
Maybe I should do a commission of my orc character in our other game riding a tower down.
Yes, riding a siege tower down, wielding his loincloth above his head like it's a
like
cowboy
a lasso,
hat.
like a cowboy hat.
Perfect.
I think
so, John. If you're listening and you just want to do one of those for free, that's fine. You can put it up on your page, and we'll just admire it and buy a print of it. But he did a great job. So,
shout out to John. Awesome work.
Go check him out.
Fantastic artist.
And like I said, I'll post that up on the Facebook page, and you can all look at it and go, "What the heck is this?"
Right.
Except for our D&D group will know. They'll look at it and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
We have to tag them all in it.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. The only one who won't get it is Adam, who was on the podcast, because that was before he joined the group.
But we explained it to him in much detail. So now he has a picture to go with the explanation.
Yeah, so now he'll know exactly what kind of craziness went on.
Which is every week.
Yep.
Every week we play, there's something crazy that happens.
Absolutely. If you can't tell, my voice is getting progressively worse. So let's go ahead and kind of wrap this up. All right, that was an interesting cough break. Now, that's going to do it for the Acts of Geekery podcast, episode 19. Probably the last one if I die, according
or the last one because you ruined it.
Yeah, I ruined it.
I'm usually the ruiner of the podcast.
Yeah, it's my fault this time.
But you ruined it. We might be done, folks. We might be done.
Send in your emails if you want us to continue.
We have to get at least one email. If we don't get any... we never get emails.
Yeah.
Send us some emails.
One email. That's all we ask.
That's just all we ask.
One person send us an email.
One person care about us.
Well, that's going to do it. If you would like to contact us and send us an email, you can contact us at actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
You can also send us a Facebook message or post on our Facebook wall, facebook.com/actsofgeekery.
Or our Twitter page at Acts of Geekery, or using the hashtag Acts of Geekery. I should check that and make sure nobody's posted anything.
Yeah, get on that Twitters, would you?
Yeah.
And that is ACTS,
not
ACTS, not AXE.
AXE. Well, that's going to do it for the podcast. I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
See ya.
And now for your listening pleasure, the sounds of Cory.
But just a moment, I need to take another cough break. Well,
what?
Sorry, holding back a cough. Please don't let this be stuff at the end.
A super cut of all your coughs. all of your sick noises. At the very end, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be pretty
I'm gonna do it.
No, don't do that. That's here. I need one more. And hang on, I got a cough. Shut up. You're making me laugh. It's hard to blow your nose and laugh at the same time.
Because as it coming out,
Stop looking at me. You make me feel disgusting when you look at me.
quit looking at me while I'm sick. I'm gonna do a supercut of all of your noises.
Great.
I'm gonna find them all.
I
and
can't wait.
I'm gonna supercut all of Cory's coughing noise.
I can't
right
wait.
after the end music.
More material for you.
More majiggers.
More kajiggers.
Need some cough medicine?
We don't have any cough medicine, do we?
I have some.
That might help.
NyQuil.
No, I already took the last of the NyQuil.
Of your NyQuil.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Have you hidden yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you don't use it.
hop me up on NyQuil and then we'll finish the podcast. That'll be great.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, it's for
But just a moment, I need to take another cough break. Well,
what?
Sorry, holding back a cough. Thanks. I really appreciate you making fun of me in addition to this.
Right.
I hate you so much.